Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, controversies of the day with Logan and Jay. Logan, he's my producer. He didn't want to be in front of the camera. Logan, come over. I don't know. We'll get him out here eventually, or maybe he'll just talk from the outside off the camera thing. Anyway, how's everybody doing out there? The world has gone crazy. I tell you, Logan and I were just talking. It's just like somebody's just kind of turned up that volume, man, in a bad way. It's just this Charlie Kirk assassination. It's just horrible. I'll talk a little bit about Charlie, and then we'll move on to some other things of the day. But we're just into September 2025, folks, and it's already got that September to remember. Maybe not in a good way, though, unfortunately. All right, so very sad to lose the voice of Charlie Kirk. I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk and everything. And this is, again, one of our problems that I have brought up today, and I see people like Bill Maher struggling with this. We don't have to agree with everything. It doesn't have to be all this, all that. There's times with Bill Maher over the years. I mean, I've watched this guy on and off. He's got a great agent, so he always finds work, right? Sometimes I want to wring his neck. I like you're a goof, you're an idiot, and then all of a sudden, some other time he'll be saying something a certain way. I'm going, yeah, right on, Bill. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. And it's part of our problem right now. We're in this real you're all this or you're all that. It's kind of like where I'm at with Donald Trump right now. I want to support the president. I want the president to do good. He's our president. He's only going to be here, by the way, a little over 3 more years, folks, okay, at best. He's going to run again. He'll never leave. Okay. I would bet you a dinner on that one. I don't think it's going to happen, okay? I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, I worry the opposite end of things, okay? As I've expressed in previous shows, please check them out on YouTube and like them. Subscribe to our service here and Rumble as well. Check us out, folks. Go back and watch. I worry Trump's not going to make it for various reasons to January of 2029, and he'll be handing the baton to the next president. Who will that be? Anyway, lots of things going on here, folks. Again, very sad about Charlie Kirk. Wish our condolences to his family and his friends. And it's going to be interesting. Who will fill Charlie's void? There's a lot of names out there. Vince Colonnese. Who's this guy? I don't know. I hear him on WLS out of Chicago. Of course, Benny Johnson's been around for a while. I think he's really trying to put himself in that position. Guy Benson's been out there for a while. You know Ben Shapiro, of course, all about the Benjamins, right? All these Ben. I don't know. I'm just saying. We'll see who, if anybody, can fill that void. Charlie had, especially going with getting to college kids, of course. Steven Crowder also very big on that, dealing with the college crowd and trying to take people on in questions and whatnot. It was pretty cool. I mean, it gets a little frustrating for me, folks. I don't give Charlie a hard time. We did do a past show here. You can look it up. I don't know if I should bring attention to it or not. I think somewhere in the title was the cartels, Trump, and Epstein, and you can look it up. It's from a few months ago. I was getting a little frustrated with Charlie Kirk and some of the other people on the so-called right Republican-ish, AM radio. I thought they were being too apologetic for Israel and for the Trump administration and a few things that happened. But then it's funny, I've been brought to my mind that Megyn Kelly did a show with Charlie, I don't know, a month ago or so maybe, and I don't know, maybe Charlie had a little change of mind. Maybe there's some material there I have to go back and find at Charlie's. Maybe he stepped on some toes. I don't know. Maybe, I'm not saying this had anything to do with his demise. You make your own call. You make your own crazy decisions on that. But one has to wonder a little bit. He does have a big voice, and the whole situation. Now, we know there's somebody that they have a suspect, this Tyler Robinson. We'll see what happens there. We'll let the law work. We'll find out the narrative here. Again, was it the truth? We don't know. Is this an angry person who has some... Maybe they're a trans person, maybe there's sympathy for the trans person, and then maybe this is the narrative they're telling us, or is there something else going on here? We just don't know. The internet is what? It's the freaking internet, and they've already got conspiracies galore. Where they got the one guy standing here, and the guy standing here, and the guy standing on his hat, and they're doing like a baseball signal. I mean, what the hell's all that about? I don't know, folks. I assume Charlie is. Why would anybody stand there if somebody's going to shoot somebody? You have to have a lot of confidence. Let's put it that way. So I don't know. Charlie did have some security. Again, I don't know how many people. He couldn't have had that many people. I don't know that he could afford that kind of a thing. There was security there. One would think after the events of Butler, Pennsylvania last year with our, then candidate Donald Trump, you think somebody, just a security person, would be up on all the roofs and pacing around and, just as a deterrent and watching for anybody who would try to get up there. I don't know. You think anybody in that situation would, if you had a security team, they would come in and say, okay, well, where are the weak spots? Where are the soft spots? I don't know. It's a weird thing. There's another video out there. Well, Charlie's got his ring on this finger and that's on this finger. I don't know. Maybe Charlie played with his ring when he was talking. I need to see more video footage. I assume all these conspiracies and all this footage and what the people are trying to insinuate. One even tried to insinuate that he had like a fake blood bag thing under his shirt, and it all seems a little nuts. And I assume it's all nothing but internet poppycock, okay? Assume. I need a little more. Maybe it's out there. Who knows? Maybe we'll see what happens. So the main thing is we need cooler heads to prevail. I do appreciate Cenk. I forget what his name is. Cenk Uygur. I don't know how you say his name. From Young Turks. He debated a lot with Charlie. They almost got into physical altercations, I think, on at least one occasion. And some of the even Democrat politicians. Now, you could say, well, they're not sincere. They just have to say that. Well, maybe you're right. You can be cynical. But I do appreciate it because these are bad times, and we don't want to see a bigger situation unfold in our country. A lot of us have been very worried about this Civil War kind of stuff. I don't think we're ever going to have a real Civil War in our country. But that doesn't mean we can't have let's say, a whole lot of social acrimony. These things happen. These things happen, and they happen all over the world. And sadly, it's part of human nature. There may be people here that want that to happen. That's the scary part. That's the really, really scary part here, folks. Let's all just remain calm, see what the law enforcement come up with here and see what we can find out about this Tyler Robinson, maybe turned in by a pastor or a family member. Just heard this on the way in today, and these are interesting times we're living in. And you might want to check out that Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk. I assume it was the last time Charlie was on her show. Like I said, it's about a month ago, back in August, I think, early August, I want to say. Could have been a little earlier. You might want to check that out and just kind of see some of the dialogue there back and forth between them. It was very interesting, if nothing else. All right, so that's what's been going on. The other big controversy, of course, Donald Trump wants to send troops to, U.S. cities and whatnot, and cities like Chicago, Illinois, and the governor of Illinois, the just fat tub of lard, Pritzker. Oh, we don't want him here, blah, 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 blah. And then you hear the next body count after the weekend. More people hurt, more people killed. There was a 70-year-old man who was just killed at a CTA station down there. Just awful things happen. And again, we saw this awful thing that happened in Charlotte recently. This horrible thing where a Ukrainian girl was killed by this guy who had been arrested 14 times, whose own mother wanted to have him committed. But no, he just got to sign something, and it's out and about. And this young woman came over from Ukraine to get away from all that horror that's going on over there. What a frickin' mess, people! What a just insane to the membrane world that we are living in here. So. Trump, I guess he's not coming to Chicago yet. He was coming. He's not coming. I don't know. He may go to some cities in some areas where he's invited. There are some constitutionality issues about it. What I don't like, folks, from the media and people is like, you don't have to just take a side, but let's call it like it is. This is failure. This is failure. And when Brandon Johnson, a complete frickin' goof, how'd this guy ever, with this stupid faux hawk, no, really, seriously, he's got a budget as mayor of Chicago, okay? Was it, or number 3 largest city? Probably going to come out of 4 pretty soon. Houston and Atlanta are coming for you. $30,000 a year he gets for his hair and makeup. That's the budget for the mayor in Chicago. What? My God, I mean, would you need a budget more than 1,000? Seriously, why? Why? Was to get a Patty and a Patty Karen and Manny and a Patty? Maybe him and Pritzker go do that together. Maybe with one of Pritzker's relatives. Maybe they go do that. I don't know. Maybe with Rahm Emanuel, the former mayor of Chicago, who I think wants to be president now. Real bad. Anyway, we're going to talk more about Rahm Emanuel another day and his really successful brothers. All right, so Donald Trump wants to come in. I don't want a police state here, folks, but, Biden and Harris let all these people in. They've created more insanity, and we do have a problem. We do, but what I would say to Donald Trump and his administration, and don't just talk about, we just, killed 11, drug traffickers. That's nice. That's hardly even a start, sir. That's hardly even a start, okay? Don't you just do a little thing, look what we did over here. Meanwhile, just tons of drugs keep coming in. You want to care about the inner cities of this great country? I've told you what to do before. And they're not going to do it, folks. And it gets me mad. It gets me pissed off. And that's it. Go after the cartels. Then we'd be a war criminal. Somebody just ripped on J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance was saying we should do more. And, you'd be a war criminal. So what just happened recently? I know I'm all over the place here, folks, but keep your eye on the ball here. So the topic is Trump bringing troops in the cities, okay? The left doesn't like it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't like it either. I'm a righty, okay? But I don't know. Do some cities need a little cleansing? Do some cities need a frickin' enema? Probably. And Chicago, or at least parts of Chicago, probably. And what's also amazing, ladies and gentlemen, is when you look at the criminality in our country, I mean, you really do some homework. A lot of these people are repeat offenders. And think about the poor law enforcement. They capture these people who commit crime, they get tried, and then they just get let out, right back out. No cash bail. I mean, what is going on here? What are we doing? Do we want society to fall apart? I mean, really, there should be real work, and good communication between the federal government and the states and the cities. We should be working together for the betterment of all the people, and regardless of political party. Again, Donald Trump, he is there for a little over 3 more years, tops, people, tops. And I'm predicting he ain't going to make that, okay? I'm not saying he's going to die. Just saying it's whatever it's going to be, you'll see. Pritzker wants to be president. Okay, it would be a horrible president. Democrats, by the way, please, you can do better. Trust me, you can do better than that guy. That guy's a joke through and through. But we have a serious drug problem in this country, and the drugs fuel the gangs, and the gangs fuel the violence. I know it's not exclusively the gangs, but it's a big part of inner city violence in our country. Okay? And the Democrats, they just come with all their Band-Aids. Oh, we need more education. Oh, it's the guns. Oh, it's the people using the guns, you freaking idiot. This is the problem with the left. You just want to put Band-Aids on things and make excuses and not realize, okay, yes, it took years to get here, but we're in a bad spot. We've got to fix this. We've got to fix this. So if I was Trump, I wouldn't go. If they don't want you in Chicago, Mr. President, I wouldn't go. But then periodically, have yourself a nice big whiteboard, a nice big chalkboard, and then talk about the deaths in Chicago, because there's going to be more of them. There's going to be more. There's going to be more murders. There's going to be more violence and more crime committed against good people, okay? Which is a horrible thing to say, folks, and I hope I'm wrong, but look what keeps happening each and every week in Chicago. And show those names and just keep showing that. Basically, show the inadequacy of Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, and J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois. Okay? That's what you should do. And then go to the places that you are invited to go so that it is constitutional if troops come in for a period of time. I don't know. Again, folks, I don't want to see a police state, but I want to see the cities cleaned up. So it's a weird, it's a weird trade-off situation. All right, so many different things happening. Well, as I say, I think we have great military power. Why don't we go after the cartels? It's just, we got a DEA, they bust these guys and bust these guys. It's like they just want to pretend to deal with the problem instead of really going after the problem. Oh, by the way, that whole war criminal thing, some journalist got mad at J.D. Vance about. Well, Israel just bombed Qatar, folks. Did you see this? Did you see this? So you want a little fourth turning update? Well, I don't know, folks. I get a little nervous. Do you get a little nervous? You see what just happened? Israel said, "Oh, Hamas is in Qatar," and they just went over there, and people think, well, they didn't do it without getting approval from the United States. In the United States, we just got like a $400 million plane from them, didn't we? I mean, am I mixing the stories here? I mean, we use that Aretha Franklin. Who's zooming who here? What's going on, man? This is nuts. Then, what do we got in Poland? Leave the Poles alone. Oh my gosh, what's going on in Poland? We got allegedly some Russian drones came over into Poland and they got shot down by NATO forces in Poland. And then Russia says, no, it's not ours. But, the media is saying, no, it is Russian. So, boy, we could see the Ukrainian thing. This is what I'm worried about, folks. The spillover and a bigger thing coming. And, we have not had a draft in this country since Vietnam, but a lot of people are for it. Remember hearing a guy Logan and I liked last year was running for president. Yeah, on the Republican side. Yeah, Vivek like cake. Yeah, he was for it. Who was on the other side? Who now came over to the Trump side, but he was on Harris's side. Alex Karp of Palantir. Oh, publicly said that he's for the draft. Did he serve in the military? I don't think he did. But not saying it's not coming tomorrow, but you never know what the heck's coming here, folks. So we need to think about that. And then, meanwhile, all these terrible things happen in America. Charlie Kirk, the thing in Poland, the thing in Qatar. Ooh, anybody take a look at Nepal? Nepal over in Asia? Oh, you dumbass Democrats. So let me just take this moment to talk about the horror that's going on in Nepal, okay? Let's get this straight. You call January 6th an insurrection, okay? I think January 6th there was a lot of weird stuff going on there, including a lot of Asian provocateurs and maybe some dumb people that got provoked to do some dumb things, and they did deserve to get in trouble if they broke the law, okay? I'll give you that. If you want to see what a real insurrection looks like, check out Nepal, okay? Quit being babies. No. That was for real. There's some real stuff going on there. And the military came in, and there was all these young people who are out of work, and they protest, and they set things on fire with the capitals, and the president or prime minister or whatever. He took off out of the country. I think the military came and killed at least 19 or 20 young people. Kill them dead in the streets, man. I mean, I'm saying, don't be a racist. You don't talk about racism. Oh, racism. Yeah, I'm saying, don't be a racist. This happens. These things are happening in the world, folks. We can't not think that maybe, can it happen here? Well, it can. I don't want it to. And I don't want anybody provoking it to. Obviously, there's so many situations for all of us to be angry about. Let's just keep your cool, everybody. Keep your cool, all right?